So, you've just started working with Kommo, or perhaps when it was called amoCRM, and you have all your old warm leads inside spreadsheets. And you're probably wondering, how do I transfer them to the CRM as fast as possible? Hi there, I'm Simon, and today I'm going to teach you how to import lead data to Kommo in just a few clicks. Let's get started. Let's say, for argument's sake, that I'm a retro car workshop owner. Before my team started working with Kommo, we'd been collecting lead data in a good old-fashioned Excel spreadsheet. Now we need to transfer the data from the spreadsheet to Kommo so that it lands in the sales pipeline correctly. This sounds like a challenge. But with Kommo, it doesn't have to be. In just a few steps, my lead base is successfully imported into the Kommo sales pipeline. The lead cards are filled out automatically, and my entire sales team can start doing their magic right away. Okay, so let's take a step back now and see how you can prepare for a file import. Here is our spreadsheet with leads we'd like to import into Kommo. Let's start with the theory. How do we prepare the spreadsheet so everything is imported correctly? Well, please make sure that your file complies with the following requirements before you start. If you're importing from a spreadsheet, the file format should be XLS, XLSX, ODS, or CSV. The uploaded file should not exceed 2 megabytes. If your file size is more than 2 megabytes, please break it down into several files and upload them separately. If your file contains more than 10,000 lines, break them into several files. Delete any empty lines or columns, or the lines or columns that you're not planning to import. It will make it easier for you to match the fields, and no extra information will be uploaded. Make sure you only have one sheet in your document. The system will import only the first sheet. Make sure all your columns in your file match the names in the fields in Kommo, including the capitalization of the letters and the spelling. Otherwise, you'll have to match the fields manually. And finally, if you upload leads, check that you have a lead title in the file. Otherwise, the file won't import. Now, once you've prepared your spreadsheet, let's start importing. In Kommo, you can choose one of the 3 import methods. Number 1, import from a spreadsheet. Number 2, import from Google Sheets. Or number 3, use Google Sheets integration. Let's take a look at each of them. First, let's learn how to import from a spreadsheet. In the pipeline, click on the 3 dots menu and select Import. The pop-up window will open. Here, we select Import a Spreadsheet. Now you can either download an example or import your own file. To upload your file, click the Load File button. Now after you do this, the Import Settings window will appear. You're off to a great start if you've done everything correctly and the headings match the fields in Kommo. Well done. Now we'll need to make some adjustments before we import the file. Let's begin by choosing a delimiter for your file. First of all, a delimiter is a character that marks the beginning or the end of a unit of data. The system chooses it automatically, depending on the format of your file. For example, CSV files are separated by a comma. If the system doesn't choose the delimiter correctly, make sure to switch it to the right one. In case the delimiter is chosen incorrectly, everything will be imported in one line. Now that's not something that you want. So how do you define a delimiter of your file so that doesn't happen? Here is a list of the delimiters for the 4 supported file types. If your file ends with CSV, it's comma separated. If it ends with XLS, XLSX, or ODS, it's a semicolon separated. Now these are true most of the time, but like every rule out there can be exceptions. Sometimes a CSV file can also be separated by a semicolon and vice versa. Now if you don't have any headings in your file, uncheck the Do Not Import First Line, contains field names, box. By default, the system starts importing it without the first line to avoid importing headings. In our case though, we'll leave it checked. Now, we need to connect each spreadsheet column to a field in Kommo so that everything is imported correctly. Under each column in the import settings, there is a coinciding Kommo field. Now one more thing, by default, all the uploaded data goes to the first stage of the first pipeline, regardless of which pipeline you've imported the file from. But you can change that by adding 2 extra columns to your file, pipeline and lead status. If a field doesn't match any of the fields in Kommo, you will see a Do Not Import warning, and this column will not get transferred to Kommo. Let's check this out. I have a field car brand in my Kommo account under the contact. Now you'll see that I forgot to name it correctly in Kommo, and now it says Do Not Import. So how do I fix that? First, click on the select box below the column. If you don't have a matching field in Kommo, you can set it up on the go. Just select the New Custom Field option. After you click on that option, you'll be able to decide in which section you want to upload it: contact, company, or lead. Then choose its type: short text, numeric, toggle switch, select, etc. and rename it if needed. Just don't forget to save the settings when you're done. Now, matching fields can be a very tiring task. We suggest naming all the headings the same as the fields in Kommo. However, if you didn't do that beforehand and matched all the fields manually, you can save a template for your future imports. Now, with a template, Kommo will automatically recognize the column names and match them to the correct fields. Now, to create a template, just enter its name in the Save Template field. We can also categorize the future imported leads with tags at this stage. Just click Create Tag and choose an existing one or create a new one. But what if we choose to import from Google Sheets? Let's go back to our import window and try to import from Google Sheets this time. To start the process, we'll need to authorize our Google account. Then Kommo will request access to the Google account. Now let's press Allow. Now that we're logged in, time to choose which spreadsheet you want to upload. Once the spreadsheet is uploaded, the Import Settings window will open. Same as before, we need to match columns with all the fields in Kommo. After matching all the fields, we're ready to upload the data to Kommo. Press Next to complete the import. Now the system will start importing the leads and the progress window will open. When the import is finished, the system displays its summary. You can press Show the imported data to see the detailed result of the import, or simply press Continue with CRM. Alright, the last method of importing data to Kommo is Google Sheets integration. Now, whether you manually enter data into your spreadsheets or collect Google Forms entries automatically, every new row in your spreadsheet will automatically create a lead in your Kommo account. If you want to learn more about this integration, you can check out our detailed video on our YouTube channel. Okay, now let's look at how imported data will look in the pipeline. Once the import is complete, the imported leads will land in the pipeline and all the data attached to the spreadsheet. Let's open one of the lead cards to check it out. Yes, the lead name, contact name, email and sales values have been filled out automatically for us. Plus, an automatic import tag has been added. Now this feature will help you to easily search for the data in Kommo after you import it. Pretty easy, right? Now you know how to import lead data in Kommo in just a few simple steps. Okay, that's all for now, everybody. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to see more tutorials like this one. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.